I'm very disappointed by the performance of IEBC, and that is because as a referee, you need to take charge of the game. You need to be ahead of the game. You need to lead the game in a proper manner. Funny thing, the Mbeere North elected MP, he is not a registered voter.
How sure you
The
of
person
that?
who was registered is Leonard Wa but Leonard Wa Muthende is not a registered voter in Mbeere. If you saw videos that were in circulation during that day, you will see our party leader chasing someone in UDA party colors who was at the ballot at the polling station. That is not his work to do. That is supposed to be the work of IEBC. IEBC should restrict, and they should give those instructions to the police manning the polling station and tell them that if anyone comes with party colors, let them not access the polling station.
Well, great to see you. Welcome back to these amazing conversations right here at the Kenya Times. Conversations that not only shapes our governance system, but also the political landscape. And to help me unpack this conversation today is none other than the Deputy Secretary General, Democratic Party, Wakili Jesse Saruni. Is right here together with me. We are going to discuss so much pertaining, the recent by-election which was experienced in various parts of this country. Follow us through this conversation until the end. I'm your host, Nixon Njau. Wakili, welcome to the Kenya Times.
Thank you very much, Nixon.
Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you again.
We have planned this for a long.
Yes, we've planned this for a very long time. Of course, we also met when party leader was launching the book the other day. So it's good to have these conversations.
True.
And I'm good to be here. I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. Let's begin. First and foremost, it came into my realization that, at one point you served as the COSO president.
Oh, yes.
How was the journey?
It has been a journey. It has been a journey. It has been an amazing journey. It has been a journey of service because I started as a student president, Mount Kenya University School of Law. I vied, I won, I got an opportunity to serve. We achieved a lot. And one of the key things that I usually appreciate is the unity that we attained at that time. Mount Kenya University School of Law at that point, we had, they still have, diploma and degree students. So there was some slight tension between these groups of people. But during my time, we were able to bridge that gap. People started interacting together, and through that, we were able to achieve so much, including having top representatives in international moot court competitions. After serving as the president, Mount Kenya University School of Law, I was elected by comrades to serve as Kenya University Students Organization president. That is COSO.
Okay.
And that was after the 2022 elections, so I was elected in 2022. And I was able again to bring together comrades from all over the country. We spoke one language. We lobbied for issues that affect the youth. We lobbied for issues that affect comrade. We pushed for release of comrades' help. I remember one time we went to a treasury building and the ministry had refused to release the funds. So we mobilized comrades. We camped at the treasury, and by that evening, help was released. Apart from that, we were involved in the university funding model. We presented our petitions to the Presidential Working Party on education reforms, and we were categorically against the new funding model, because you'll notice that the funding model, it has no basis really. It has come to do away with a model that was working, and it was just the president trying to experiment with lives of comrades. So we were able to achieve a lot. Of course, they bulldozed that process, bought several comrades to endorse it, started doing PR with that project. And well, it is what it is. You can see what we are going through. Students, comrades are still suffering. that is something that the next government needs to look at. We need to go back. We need to restore our country to where we are.
Okay.
And then after that, maybe before, after that now is when I was given that mandate to serve as a deputy party leader, Democratic Party of Kenya.
When was that now?
It was in July.
This year?
This year, yes.
Okay. So any fresher?
Mini fresher, but
oh, that's fantastic.
Yes, yes.
And as a young leader now, you know, what are some of the things that you have, learned so far in this political space, considering that you served as the CUSO president and now you are on a national platform? Being a deputy SG of a national party is not easy. It is something that is very serious. So what are some of the things that you have learned so far? Well,
I have learned to appreciate several things, one of which is loyalty. Of course, politics is a place that has a lot of currencies, but the top currency is loyalty. You have to be loyal to your cause. You have to be loyal to the people around you. You have to be loyal to the vision that you carry. Apart from that, you need to network. There's a lot of people who are willing to work with young people. So if you're loyal, there are doors that will be opened for you. There are opportunities that you'll be able to get. And thirdly, if you get a chance, go for it.
Go for it.
Give a man half a chance and he takes it.
Absolutely.
If you get a chance, give it your best.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do your best.
Do your best.
Now let's talk about the national issues. Now, recently we had the by-elections, which were experienced in various parts of the country. And even as the members of the Fourth Estate, we were following easily to know what is happening. First and foremost, how do you rate the performance of the Independence and Electoral Boundary Commission?
It is very disappointing. I'm very disappointed by the performance of IEBC. And that is because as a referee, you need to take charge of the game. You need to be ahead of the game. You need to lead the game in a proper manner. We have rules that speak to everything. And when we see violence being meted on Kenyans during campaigns, during elections, as IBC, you need to call that out. You need to take measures. I was expecting to see IBC flex its muscles because it has, and even cancelling some elections, but it didn't. So, we have a very strong independent body in theory, but the independence of that body is in question. We have seen issues of voter apathy, voter sensitization, which has not been really done well during the by-elections. Apart from that, we have seen people who are not registered voters going on to cast their ballots. The funny thing, the Mbeere North elected MP, he is not a registered voter.
How sure you
The person who was registered is Leonard Wa but Leo Wa Muthende is not a registered voter in Mbeere.
But those are just allegations. How sure of you of that, Wagi?
They are not allegations. We have even seen the name, the way it appears on the Kim's kit. On the ballot paper we have one name, but on the Kim's kit we have Leonard Njau. On the ballot paper we see Leo Wa Muthende Njau. Those are two people. Because if IBC rightly cleared this candidate, then we should see the same reflecting on the Kim's kit and on the ballot paper. So there are a lot of gaps that IBC need to address, and they really need to give us back our faith, because at this moment we do not fully trust their capacity. Yes.
And what does that mean when we see the IEBC doing according to the by-election they did? Do you think that maybe Kenyans have full trust even as we head to 2027 on IEBC?
Well, we need to urge Kenyans to do their part, and then the political parties, we have observers, we have the legal teams. They will take it from there. But first of all, Kenyans need to come out in large numbers, register as voters, ensure they vote And then after that, we'll pick it from that. But the supreme voice is the voice of the people.
Okay. And we experienced some of the, chaos in various parts of the country, even during that by-election. We saw in Malava, Kasipul, Magarini, and even Mbeere North, where we'll talk on that. You had candidate.
Yes.
We saw chaos was experienced. What does that mean, even as we come to 2027?
Well, if you listen to people who are in government and the leaders in government, they keep saying that they will win by all costs. And even during the by-elections, they were saying that they will win those MP seats at all costs. So when we see violence being meted out on innocent people who want to exercise their right, we see an institution or a group of people who are practicing to replicate the same during the 2027 election. So I will say this is a dress rehearsal, and we need to be very vigilant as Kenyans. We will not allow it to happen to us again. We need free, fair elections, as stipulated in the Constitution.
Okay. And now talking of Mbeere North, that is where, the DP had a very strong, candidate. We are talking of Newton Karish. And later, we saw the one who was announced winner was Leonard Wa Muthende, the one from the UDA party. As a Deputy Secretary General of the DP party, did you guys did your best in terms of mobilizing support for Newton Karish?
Well, we are very proud of the performance of Newton Karish. We are very happy to see and to experience the love of the Mbeere people, because the Mbeere people are very loving and they fully believe and trust in us. And they gave us their votes willingly and in huge numbers. However, what happened is diversion of the will of the people. We saw the people loved and voted for their candidate, but this regime decided they will win at all costs. We saw a lot of violence during that election. We saw voter suppression strategies. We saw military tanks being deployed there so that they can create that visual effect that tomorrow during the day of the election, it's going to be war. And when you give that visual expression, you make people feel they are not really comfortable, and some of the people will not turn out to vote. We saw a lot of resources, public resources, being deployed to campaign for a government candidate. We saw CSs in huge numbers. We saw PSs leaving their desks and office and their work, stopping service to Kenyans to go and serve their boss by campaigning for one candidate. In Mbeere North at that point, you could not find change of 1,000 shillings.
Really?
Kienda ulize mtu nisaidie na change ya dhao, anakuambia hata mimi niko na kama hiyo. So you see, they really used a lot of resources. And the best part of it is that come 2027, we are taking back that seat, because they cannot focus that same amount of energy on that one individual constituency. They cannot target that constituency with all those number of PSs and CSs. Of course, they will have ended their service, term of service. So come 2027, we are very confident Mbeere North is ours.
It will be back.
Yes, it will be back.
But according to, Leonard Wa Muthende, is that the competition was just fair. I went to the ground, Newton was in the ground, but the people decided. What do you have to say on that?
When you go and ask a thief how they got their property, they will say they bought it. They will say they have those kind of, that is expected of him, which is all right, because it's okay for him to say that. He's trying to legitimize his position, but we all know the facts are clear and the facts are on the ground. The guy did not win fairly.
Are you sure of that?
Yes.
But it was announced by IBC, he's the winner.
he was announced. At one point, we saw CS taking over a polling station. Bullets were shot, people ran, people scattered, and then after that, people came back, votes were counted, and you know, with those kind of shenanigans, we saw Leo winning with less than around 300 and something votes, very few votes. And that is after they have done all that. They have spent a lot of resources. They have deployed military artifact. They have deployed a lot of policemen. They have deployed government employees and staff, PSs, CSs, and all that. You know, they did all that, and they were able to win only with a slight margin of 300. So come 2022, I can guarantee you, my friend, we are winning it.
Okay, Wakili. But according to the statistics by the IEBC on that election, we saw there was a very short margin, a few numbers, or a difference number. What does that mean?
Well, that means that as opposition, we are way ahead, because we did not have the same amount of resources that the government had. We were not able to, of course, we don't have our own security personnel. It's only the will of the people who went to secure the ballots. So after the government doing all that, and they were still able to win with a very small margin, that really, to us, translates to victory. Yes, we might not have won the seat, but we can take good lessons from that and say that we are way ahead in terms of numbers. Apart from that, it's also bittersweet, because maybe if we won the Mbeere North and the Malava seat and Banisa and Magarini, maybe we could have sat back and said, you see guys, we've got this, so let us relax, let us wait for 2027. But now, because we have seen what the government is willing to do to rig out properly elected people, we will take lessons from that, and we'll think of proper strategies to counter that.
There are still some of the political analysts who argued that, you know what, the Mbeere North by-election and Malava was a litmus test to both opposition and the government. And with the outcome that the government took over all the seats, now that means in 2027, the united opposition has no power, even within the grassroots level.
No,
the president will still beat them.
No,
do you agree with that?
I don't agree. If you look at the dynamics, you'll find that especially in Western region, they are not supporting the Kenya Kwanza government. I will give you a good example. The Malava seat, the previous candidate won with around 22,000 votes.
Malulu Njendi.
Yes, the late. The runners-up won with 20,000 votes from UDA. Okay? So that is a total of around over 40,000 for the Kenya Kwanza side. If you look at the current numbers, you'll see that the difference was 1,000, of course, 21, 20, around there. The difference was only 1,000 votes. But now the dynamics have changed, because these 20 and 21 are not in Kenya Kwanza. One is in Kenya Kwanza, the other one is in the united opposition. So that means, as united opposition, we have made a lot of progress. Yes, because initially it was ANC and UDA who are winning, and they had over 40,000. This time, a UDA candidate could not amass more than 25,000 votes. So a lot of other voters, those 20,000, they are now in. That is a good representation, and that is something we can take from that. If you look at Baringo,
yes,
Baringo, you find an independent candidate attaining 30,000 votes. That tells you something. That tells you that people are, regardless of where they are, regardless of where they come from, they are not pro-government. They know what this government is doing, and they are really against it. And it's unfortunate that Gideon did not go for that seat, because he would have won it.
Are you sure of that?
Yes. If an independent candidate, you know, some of those votes were for Gideon. So it was rebellious voting.
Okay.
Yes.
Before we move away from the by-election events, the DP, Democratic Party, under the leadership of Justin Mbeere Muturi, right?
Yes.
He's your party leader.
Yes.
We saw him on that particular day complaining that, you know what, the elections in Mbeere North were not free and fair. That is after they lost, after you guys lost. So is it that when you lose, you come and say you guys were stolen, your votes were stolen? Why don't you just agree that we lost? Let's wait for
Not really. If you saw videos that were in circulation during that day, you will see our party leader chasing someone in UDA party colors who was at the ballot at the polling station. That is not his work to do. That is supposed to be the work of IBC. IBC should restrict, and they should give those instructions to the police manning the polling station, and tell them that if anyone comes with party colors, let them not access the polling station. So you will see those irregularities. He tried himself. You saw him chasing a guy in well-clad. So it's not that we are complaining after. We were even taking measures on the ground, trying to avoid those things, trying to protect the votes. But you know what? The government decided to go an extra mile. They decided to use everything to their disposal to ensure that they win. And well, I understand we have a matter in court pending that will be looking at that, and we'll see the outcomes.
Okay. And maybe regarding now the measures, what is the measures that the Democratic Party is taking, to ensure that in 2027 you don't also find yourself into the same, situations?
Well, we are taking several measures. Of course, is voter mobilization. We are mobilizing a lot of people. We are talking to people. Right now, I told you I was coming from some place. I was meeting some aspirants. We are meeting people. We are talking to people. We are talking to people about policies. We are talking to people about things that we want to see change. We are talking to people about the future that we want. And people are buying our story. People are agreeing with us. And these are things that we are looking forward to implement. At the end of the day, the votes is in the pocket of the voter. So we are not in a position to give money like the way government is doing, but we speak to the hearts of these voters so that they can see. The government will give you 1,000 shillings, right? Like right now, our people in Mbeere North, most of them were given money. But saizi ukiangalia hiyo pesa hayuko, you have someone who is not there to represent your interest, someone who is there to to serve their bosses, So we are trying to reason with our voters, with our people, so that at least come 2027, people are well informed.
Absolutely. And apart from Mbeere North, did Democratic Party field candidates in other parts of the country? Yes,
we fielded candidates. We had a candidate in Nyamira. We had a candidate in Tana River, MCA. Those are new territories for us. They performed fairly well. They didn't win the seats. We had a candidate in Rocktown Ward. But in order to promote the united opposition and unity of within the united opposition, we decided that our candidates will step aside for the DCP candidate, Honorable Douglas Masikonde. I was deployed there by a party leader, went, met Douglas. We sat down with our candidate, we talked, and we agreed that we will support the DCP candidate. I was there when tear gas was being thrown in town. And really...
So you experienced
I experienced
the test of
no,
tear gas?
tear gas. It wasn't the first time. Tumeikula hata June 24th, 2024, we were there. It wasn't the first time. So hii tumezoea tu, ametuzoesha. This guy has made us used to tear gas.
Let's talk about young people. There's a gap called the Gen Zs.
Yes.
Recently, there have been, online, criticization against them, following the recent outcome during the by-elections. Many people are expecting that, the young people will come out and even vote for their preferred candidate. For example, in Baringo, there was a Gen Z candidate who... There was a lot of online sensitization and mobilization that young people from Baringo, please come out and vote for your candidate. But that was totally different. Young people never came out to vote. And even according to the recent statistics by the IBC, the voter registration rate is still down, is still low. Young people are not coming out to take votes and be, the voters. Yet they want real change. As a young leader, what do you have to say on that?
Well, I will say that people who are quick to judge, they do not understand the language of Gen Z. And I'm saying this confidently because if you want to really look at the by-election and say that Gen Zs are not voting, then you will be doing yourself an injustice. Reason being, the number of Gen Zs who are registered as voters at that point was not that big. Saizi, a lot of Gen Zs have their IDs and they are interested in voting. Number two, if you look at the nature of by-election, you don't get a public holiday to do a by-election. By-elections happen during their own timeline. And during this specific by-election, comrades were in school. So if comrades had registered in Baringo, in different other areas, these people were not able to travel back to their hometowns to cast their ballot. Unlike in at general election, when you have everyone on standby and ready, this by-election really you cannot read too much and say that the young people are not willing to vote. Again, it takes a lot of planning, even for you to be at home during that time of casting the votes, for you to travel, it takes a lot of planning. Saizi watu wako shule, you're thinking about exams. Saizi exams are ongoing. And, 1 week ago, you would want someone to go and vote. Chances are you might want to take a by-election lightly because of other commitments. But come the general election, we'll see the true colors. So it's too early to judge. Gen Z, millennials, the young people of this country, they speak one language, and that language is unity, that language is change. And that is the language that we want to continue speaking.
But again, young people also don't want legacy politicians. When we talk of legacy leaders, we talk of leaders who have been there before, the likes of just these old leaders who are still there, even both in opposition and in government. They want a new system. They want things to change immediately. So what do you have to say on that?
Well, that is a discussion that we really have to continue having among ourselves as young people in this country, because we want to, again, look at what we want. We cannot do away with experience and choose a new angel or a new, even they say it's better, at some point they say it's better a devil that you know than an angel that you don't. But I might not fully agree with that because I believe there are young people who are really committed to the cause, who are really passionate about change. So that is a conversation that we still have to have among ourselves so that we decide, is there a way that we can find a middle playing ground for us to be able to bring change in this country? Because yes, we need to have change. There are people who have been there and who have experience. There are people who are not good and there are people who are good. We can choose to partner with people who are good, look at them, have a sit down with them, make sure that our voice is heard. We are heard, our interests are well represented and catered for. We know that jobs will be created. We know that the government will not suppress small businesses. You know, when we do that, we can able to bring change. So this is a conversation that we still need to continue having.
And President Ruto is on his fourth year now, after he took over power, you know, in 2022. So far, he has been able to do various things according to what he says daily. So according to you, you know, Jesse Saruni, how do you rate and reflect to the leadership of President Ruto 4 years in office now?
Well, when it comes to genuine performance, below average.
Really?
When it comes to PR and gimmicks, above average.
But the president says that he has been able to do what he promised the Kenyans during manifestos.
And that is what I'm saying. When it comes to PR, you told me he says. Have you felt it? Have you seen it? I have not seen anything that is done. I have not felt the economy change. If anything, I've felt the economy becoming worse. But for him, in terms of PR, he has invested a lot of resources in PR. That is why he will go somewhere and say, we are going to dual Thika superhighway. We are going to bring the cost of gas to 300 shillings. Those are promises, gimmicks. You know, he has the gift of the gab. We can give him that. In terms of PR, he has done them. PR projects. He has done PR. He has invested heavily on PR. He wants to create a narrative that is the best. That is because he went to school, is the most educated. He has a doctorate degree, which we don't know how he got. That he is the best candidate. We have the best president we've ever had. Who said? We should be feeling it. No Kenyan is feeling that he's the best. If anything, we are only seeing stories. If you are a president who is very well educated, why are you telling us that you will dual Thika superhighway? What other dueling do you want to do on Thika superhighway? You know, we do not expect that such kind of shenanigans. And I was privileged to work for him and campaign for him during the 2022 elections. And I asked him one question during the signing of the county charters. I asked him, one was about the internet, the digital superhighway. I asked him about that. He said, do you know Saruni? And he called me by name. He knows me. You know Saruni. This is something that we'll do. The other question that I asked was about the use of police to oppress the opposition. He did not answer that question. It did not even appear in the Nini. I should have taken it as a red flag. But I said because he's my presidential candidate, staki kumuembarrass nikanyamazia tuka. He was my presidential candidate at that time. DP was in Kenya Kwanza. We exited. So I know he loves PR. He does a lot of PR. But really, we have not seen anything.
So according to you, you say the president has not done anything for 4 years now in office?
He has, what he has managed to do is to remove money out of Kenyans' pockets. He has introduced those funny things. He has introduced SHA. He has introduced housing levy. People are being deducted those things from their pay slips. So every single coin. Unajua walishikana na ANC wakasema sijui nini pesa mfukoni. Kumbe ilikuwa pesa mfukoni yao, si pesa mfuko ya Kenya. They have managed to do those things and do a lot of PR with that money so that we think that the country is working. But really, if you talk to a Kenyan who runs a small business, they tell you they are suffering.
But according to the president, he says, you know, judge me fairly. I've done affordable houses. I've done, you know, I've bring social health authority, which I promised you. I've done several, you know, projects when we talk Hustlers Fund and others. So why do you say that, Wakili?
Housing started during Uhuru's time. It was actually one of his big four. It was part of his big four agenda. And he did not need to take money from Kenyans to do that. But right now, Kenyans are being forced to give out money and this money is being used to construct houses, and these houses will be sold to Kenyans. So why are we being deducted money? If you are doing something for us and you're taking our money, why are you taking our money, building with our money, and then selling it to us? Give people those houses. Give people those houses. Don't sell again. Because if you say rent to own, how now? We have already paid the rent. You have deducted that rent from our salaries. So why again are you double charging us? You know, so that is just a form of corruption in its own way. You cannot praise corruption and say that you've done things, because you're stealing from us by selling us something that we've paid for. That is stealing from us. So how can we praise you for that? How can we judge you fairly for that? You know, that becomes crazy. If you look at Hustler Fund, Hustler Fund is a failed project. It's a failed. 500 itakusaidia biashara gani? You know, PR, when it comes to PR, he will say that, oh, Hustler Fund, someone has started to do.
According to the president, it was helping, you know, the border guys, the mama mboga. They can just, you know, take that 500 and buy stocks and so on.
He has a lot of theory. That is a theory that is not working. It is not working. According to him, he feels that, I think it's better ile 6,000 yenye Baba was promising than he Hustler Fund, because it's really not working. When you are very hungry, you have a boda, you're very hungry, and you upate pale ka 500. So utachukua tu ka 500 na ununue hata kagidheri yako ya 50 bob.
Okay, Wakili. And you know, you have mentioned that you supported, you know, President Ruto back then in 2022 while looking for power. Do you regret now for supporting President Ruto then?
No, I do not regret, but now I know better. I believed he was a changed man. People used to tell me a lot of things about him, but I believed in what he was saying. I believed in his narrative. I believed in the Kenya Kwanza manifesto, because it was very detailed. I know it it's on my fingertips. But immediately they took office, they decided, you know what, these are tools of winning the campaign. Now we have the seat, we'll do what we want. And they do not care about Kenyans anymore.
Okay, and as we conclude now, let's talk about the United Opposition. Democratic Party, the DP, where you are the Deputy Secretary General, is part of the United Opposition. First and foremost, is your party leader presidential candidate, Justin Muturi?
Well, our party constitution states that our party leader will always be our presidential candidate. So according to our party constitution, he is our presidential candidate. Our party constitution is also open to joining a coalition and supporting anyone, a joint presidential candidate. So up until when there is a change in our constitution, he remains to be our presidential candidate as a party.
As of now?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what are you going to do different from President Ruto? Because you want power, you want to hostage him. So what different is the United Opposition going to do for Kenyans?
Well, the only difference is to be people-centered, not power-centered. The government, Kenya Kwanza administration, is power-centered and greed, full of greed. They just want money. We've seen some people weighing thousands of Kenya shillings on a weighing scale on social media. They just want money, they want power. That's it. They don't care about the people. We saw how the citizens were being shot, Gen Zs, during the maandamano. You know, these are things that we do not want. So as the United Opposition, we are only focusing on the people, not on the power. We are focusing on how we can improve the lives of the people. We are focusing on how, first of all, we can remove people, we can get people out of oppression, out of a regime that does not care about them. out of a regime that is there to eat the future of Kenyans. So that is our main priority. We want to focus about the people, the future of the Kenyans, and how we can get them out of this failed regime.
There are still Kenyans who feel the united opposition and the government are just the same people. They are just the same politicians we know. You promise us, but then when you go into the leadership position, you change totally. Why should Kenyans trust you, the united opposition?
That's a good question. And what I will say is, this journey, we are not taking it on our own. We are taking it with Kenyans. We are not taking it as politicians in the united opposition. We are taking it as Kenyans as a whole. So that we walk this journey together, we form the government together, we talk to people, we find what works for people, we consider giving people their voice, ensuring that people get resources, ensuring that people get a proper working economy, to ensure that people are able to go home with food. So yes, there is that doubt, but we have all seen, we have all experienced the worst. So we are here together, united opposition in Kenyans. We have experienced the worst that Kenya can ever experience. We have experienced young people being shot, being killed in numbers, being abducted. We have experienced children being tear gassed. Even during Moi's regime, people used to say Moi was one of the worst. During his regime, we never saw children being tear gassed. But right now we are seeing, so this is the worst that it has ever been. And as the united opposition, we are in this together with Kenyans. We want a better Kenya. So it can never get worse than this. Let us get out of here. Let us work for our future. Let us fight for our future.
We still have those Kenyans who want the real issues. They want, the united opposition to talk about the real issues which are affecting them. And even recently we have seen the president, saying that those guys don't have, agendas. The agenda is just one term, Ruto must go and Kasongo. They don't have anything totally. So what are some of the things, tangible things that the united opposition, where you're part of, is going to help Kenyans?
First of all, I'm one of those Kenyans that want us to talk about real issues. Apart from that, I also understand the nature of the president and his team. Those people are pure copycats. If right now we start talking about something, they will start talking about it as well. They will rush to try and implementing those things so that they can blindfold the Kenyans. So we will not work according to his rules, unfortunately. We know him better. We will do it at our own time.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Your last word to Kenyans now as we conclude this conversation.
Well, what I can say is just a polite request to Kenyans. Let us register as voters. We have seen that the government is willing to do everything possible to retain power. And, well, the power is in our hands. So let us register as voters. Young people, Gen Z, we register as voters, prepare, work together, let us meet, let us keep these conversations going so that we can be able to bring change to this country. It can never get worse than this, but we will have a bright future as Kenyans.
Absolutely. Are young people welcomed to Democratic Party?
Yes.
Those who want to vie in for various positions?
Absolutely. In fact, I've met very many young people who are willing to vie on DP party ticket.
Okay.
And I'm encouraging more of them to really come. It's DP is a party that was founded by the late former President Mwai Kibaki, and it's a visionary party, party that stands for the rights of the people, and our slogan is Umoja na Haki. So young people, kujeni, we work together, we form government together.
Wakuje kwa umoja na haki.
Kwa umoja na haki.
Thank you, Akili, for coming.
Yes.
We have had an amazing conversation, and looking forward for you once again.
Yeah, looking forward as well.
We talk to Kenyans.
That is all right.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, too.
So that is where we conclude our conversation together with the Deputy Secretary General for Democratic Party, Wakili J.C. Saruni. See you in the next conversation. I've been your host, Nixon Njau.